Hello everyone, I'm FMZ and welcome to a brand new series to the channel. Welcome to League One to Legend. And I have taken control of Portsmouth. And we'll take a closer look at them in a second. But don't forget, if you enjoy this content, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to click that notification bell to know when a new video goes up on the channel. And also, don't forget to leave me a comment if you've got anything to say. Let's take a closer look at Portsmouth, shall we? So here are Portsmouth Football Club, founded in 1898. But as you can see, the recent history has been very much a downward spiral for them. Obviously relegated from the Premier League back in 2010, just 2 years after they won the FA Cup, beating Cardiff in the final. It is a fall from grace, and they dropped to the 4th tier League 2 for the first time in many years. But they are back on the rise, back into League 1, steady in League 1, but not spectacular. And that is the thing that drew me towards Portsmouth. They are on the rise, but they need just a little bit more help getting back into the Championship and hopefully back into the Premier League and even maybe winning trophies. Switching across to the club vision, there is only one club culture to speak of, and that is develop players using the youth system. We'll have a look at the finances in a second. They're not great, I'll say that right now. So using the youth team players will be a preferred option going forward, and it's one I'm going to have to use, quite frankly. Work within a wage budget. Again, we'll take a look at the finances shortly, but that won't be a problem. They want to build a new stadium and expand Fratton Park as it is at the moment. They have ambition, the owners of Portsmouth, which is great to see. So by the end of the current season, they want to reach the playoffs. I think that's more than achievable. FA Cup third round, obviously we enter the FA Cup in round 1. So we've got to get through the first couple of rounds before we hopefully will meet a payday with one of the Premier League big boys. They're hoping we can reach round 2 of the EFL Cup, or the Carabao Cup as it's known now, and the EFL Trophy, or the Papa John's Trophy, is not important, but it is something that Portsmouth have won recently. Now, it's worth me pointing out first and foremost that we have disabled transfers in the first window. Obviously, we are playing using the updated version of Football Manager up until the January window. So a lot of transactions have happened between clubs between the start of the season and now. It's a good thing we have done that as well, because we have no money to spend. Absolute zero. And when we do get to the January transfer window, we've got £5 to play with. It is something that I am not used to, which again drew me to this kind of challenge from League One to Legend. Obviously, I'm used to managing clubs that have got an awful lot of money behind them, where I can go out and I can buy players. Now we're going to have to sort of wheel and deal. A bit like Harry Redknapp used to when he was manager of Portsmouth. Speaking of the squad, let's take a look at it. And taking a look at the squad itself, it's a fairly small squad. It has to be said, but a small squad is a tight-knit squad, I like to think at least. We've got a few options in the striking department, obviously. League One is probably the most notorious league for getting out of. So goals are going to be key for us. Obviously, we've got the likes of Sunderland. We've got the likes of Peterborough in our division who have got firepower in spades. And that is going to be a thing that we're going to have to try and score goals to get out of this division. But looking through the rest of the squad, we've got plenty of options in defence, couple of left backs, few options in midfield. I think we're probably going to play 4-3-3. We might switch to 4-2-3-1. It depends how things go, with just one striker and then maybe sort of Ronan Curtis and someone else on the opposite side. That's kind of the way I'm thinking at the moment with the team. But let's take a look at some of the key players. And we start with the club captain, and that is Tom Naylor, 29 years of age. He's been at Portsmouth for just about 3 years now, a 3.5-star defender, but he can also play in midfield as well. I can already see that the lack of support in the manager is justified, so I'm going to need to get Tom on side if things are going to go well here. Moving on to our next player, and I'll mention Charlie Daniels because This guy has Premier League pedigree. He was with Bournemouth up until recently. A 4-star defender, a left back, but it's still at 33, pace of 12, stamina of 14, work rate of 14. He is probably going to be very integral to us getting promotion or not. Another player worth mentioning is Marcus Harness. 24-year-old Irishman, valued at £1.6 million. I'm hoping we're not going to have to cash in on him given the financial situation at the moment. 3.5-star player, pace of 14, acceleration of 14, crossing of 11, which is not the best, but it could still improve. He is still quite young. He is going to be someone that we're going to definitely rely on to get the ball into the front man, and hopefully he can get it into the net from there. Another very good wide midfield player is Ronan Curtis, 3.5-star, 24-year-old Irish international. Again, has been at Portsmouth with a couple of seasons, seen them rise up into League One. Pace of 13, acceleration of 13, work rate of 13, better with crossing, that's 13 as well. We are going to use the wings very much in this series to hopefully be headed in by the front man. And that forward role is predominantly going to be filled by John Marquist, 28-year-old Englishman, 3.5-star player, a journeyman given he's played for 10 clubs, but he does have a history of coming out of League One. He did it with Doncaster. Hopefully he can do it with Portsmouth. Stamina of 15, acceleration of 12, teamwork of 15, work rate of 15, finishing of 13. That is going to be key because he's going to be the man that's hopefully going to score all the goals. And seems we've been talking about having to use the youth and bring them through. Let's take a look at what we've got to play with. So Alex Bass is currently injured, 2.5-star goalkeeper. All right, you always need a goalkeeper. Haji Mononga looks like a bright prospect, currently 2-star, but has the potential to be a 5-star player. Looking further down the list, Alfie Stanley stands out a little bit. He could be useful to us. Harvey Rue, again, 1.5-star player, but has the potential to be a 4-star player. Joe Hancock, again, 1.5-star player. So there is potential to be had in the under-23s. I think it's going to be very much a case, though, that we ease these kind of players in gently. So we've got 2 frontline goalkeepers. Obviously, we've got Alex Bass in the under-23s to bring him in should we need to. A right back, Tom Naylor, is going to feature a lot in this talk, by the way. Can play right back, obviously can play in midfield as well. We've got 4 of those at right back. 7 centre halves, obviously we only need 2 at a time, so that's fine. 5 left backs, Daniels and Brown are probably going to be the 2 that play there most predominantly. Moving into midfield, Tom Naylor features a lot in midfield as well, so he'll probably play that defensive role. We've got Harvey White on loan from Tottenham, which is a great young player. George Byers is the other player in the midfield position, as is Andy Cannon. It's in the wide positions, though, than where I'm the most excited. So we've mentioned Marcus Harness, we've mentioned Ronan Curtis, Ryan Williams is another player, Jordi Huwulu is a good player out there, Michael Jacobs, who's been around a very long time. So we've got lots of options out in the wide positions. We've got options down the centre as well. We've mentioned John Marquist, Ellis Harrison's another one. We've also got Ronan Curtis and Jordi Huwulu who can play that top position. I think, having seen it and having thought about it a little bit more, we are probably going to go with 4-3-3 for the start of the season. And you know, I said earlier that Tom Naylor hasn't got a lot of support for me. That's because I have given myself quite a low rating. I didn't want to make it too easy for myself, and I didn't want to make it too hard. So we've gone sort of flat across the board, so that will help me develop over time as well as with the players. I've got a 2-year contract as well, so hopefully it's not all doom and gloom first season and we get sacked, because that would be a terrible way for things to go. So it does give me a little bit of time. If we don't go up first season, I think the board will be expecting us to go up second year. Now moving on to League One itself. So Hull City are the favourites at 10-11. Sunderland are right behind them at 11-10. Then come Charlton at 7-2. There's us at 5-1. 4th favourite for promotion. Ipswich are at 9-1. Lincoln at 10. MK Dons at 11, Blackpool at 12, Doncaster at 13, Oxford at 14, Peterborough at 16, Wigan at 18-1. So close together, that top 12, which proves my point from earlier on that it is really anyone's league. If you get a bit of a decent run together, you can propel yourself from the bottom of the table right up into playoff contention. I wouldn't even rule out the newly promoted sides in Swindon, Crewe, Northampton and Plymouth They all have pedigree. Obviously, they've got into this division, and that's generally the projection that most teams take. Once they go up into one division, they tend to have that bit of bounce that gets them up into the next division and into the championship. And that's certainly what those clubs will be trying to do, as will we. So what we will do, we will play AFC Wimbledon, we will play Colchester, we will come back for that first League One match of the season where we take on Shrewsbury at Fratton Park, and hopefully the Fratton Roar will help us to a win. So that was Portsmouth Football Club in League One to legend. Hopefully you're going to join me on this journey as we try to take Portsmouth from League One back to the Premier League. And believe me, it is going to be no easy challenge, this one. League One, as I've mentioned already, is notorious for getting out of. And even when we've done that, there are many, many obstacles left to come. So we will come back next time round for that first game of the League One season with Shrewsbury Town. Until then, if you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel but like to do so, please click that subscribe button down the corner. Don't forget to leave me a comment if you've got anything to say on today's video. Don't forget I'm a member of the Passion for FM team. The link to the Discord server is down in the description for that. And I'm also promoting the charity Mind. Obviously, with the coronavirus pandemic, everybody has been struggling with their mental health. If you are struggling and you don't know who to talk to, the links are in the description of where you can seek help. You know, some of these places are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do not hesitate to try and talk to someone. Yes, you might feel I don't need to talk to somebody, but believe me, if you're struggling, the best thing you can do is talk to someone, and they will make you feel that little bit better, and hopefully that will help you on the way back to where you want to be. I've been FMZ. That was League One to legend. I will see you next time for Shrewsbury. Until then, thanks for watching. Goodbye.